Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Farming Valley. So, since last episode, it's shortly after last episode, I did run a little bit of cable, and this is all temporary, just so I could get some power. Ran over to the backyard. I've got a powered lantern over here now, so that it'll keep mobs from spawning, and I went ahead and just moved all of our Britannia stuff over. And I also crafted an additional mana spreader and mana pool. So what I've got here, it's basically like it was last episode, just slightly different. So these three are feeding into this one mana pool, and from there, that's getting fed out to this mana distributor. And then it's getting spread around to these three pools. This is our alchemy catalyst, our Clayconia is on this one, and the runic altar is on this one for right now. So, and then everything's just shifted back here just so we have a little bit more of a dedicated space. It's not finalized. I keep moving it around, I know, but hopefully not too much longer. So, anyways, today the first thing that I want to do is I want to set up a little automated system to feed our Endoflames. Okay? Because we've got these 8 Endoflames. The Intrapinium, while being very, very nice, we're not at the point right now where, you know, we can automate TNT and all that stuff to really utilize that, right? Let's go ahead and start doing this. I've got a few potholes I have to fill, like there and there, but I'll get those. I would like to, between episodes, like over the weekend, I was like, man, I really want to just, like, spend a bunch of time and work off camera getting that bee bread up, but then it's like, oh yeah, this is Farming Valley. I can't really do that. So, yeah, everything's so time sensitive. Alright, so what we're going to need is, let's see, we're going to need a hopper. Let me go grab that. And I've done this setup before. I love this setup. It's quite effective for what we want. And so I'm going to use it once more. Once more in this series. Let me get just a bit of this redwood wood. Alright, so hopper. And then I'm also going to want a comparator. Let's take a look at that. Nether quartz, 3 pieces of stone, and then we're going to want 3 redstone torches. And there's our comparator. And then I'm also going to want, let's see, I'm going to want some redstone. Let's go ahead and grab that. No insulated redstone conduits in this series. And then I'm going to want a hovering hourglass, mana steel, mana glass, gold and redstone. Let me go ahead and grab this stuff. And let me go ahead and get some iron for making mana steel in a minute. And a couple pieces of glass. And then I'm also going to want, let's see, redstone. I think we'll use the immersive engineering stuff, just because that way I don't have to run redstone up. And we can talk about this stuff. This stuff's really, really nice. So, a couple pieces of hardened clay. I'm going to need wire connectors first up. And then I'm going to need, electrum. You know what? That is something that... Do we have electrum by chance? Yes, we do. Okay. 3 of those. And we'll go ahead and get our redstone wire connectors. Then I'm also going to want some redstone wire coil. I'm going to need aluminum wire, sticks, redstone. Do I happen to have aluminum? I do not. I'll have to pick some up, and it's Tuesday. Yeah, he'll be open tomorrow. I'll have to pick some up tomorrow for that. That's fine. Let's go ahead. Actually, let me see. Then let's go ahead and get some sand. I've got 6 pieces, which I think is going to be enough. I do believe so. Oh, and then I'm also going to want a dropper, which is just cobblestone. Let me get a couple more pieces of that. And normally in this situation I would use an open crate, however, dropper works just as well because it doesn't have to be directly on anything for the Endoflames to pick it up. I mean, the dropper's not going to throw stuff out of the range of the Endoflames. So there's really no problem with using a dropper over an open crate in this situation, since we're not going to be using a pressure plate system like we have in some series in the past. But, alright, oh, I should have brought some blocks to build with. I've got living rock. I'll just use that. That'll be fine. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we're going to set up our system like, let's see. Yeah, we'll have it right over here, I think. Let me grab my claws. We'll bring it up like one more. And we'll set the dropper down like right there. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put a hopper on it. This is actually just for mainly extra storage. Is all that it's really for. And you know what? This, I need you facing down. Okay. So now if I was to put in like sand, and I didn't bring a lever with me. Well, if I give it a redstone signal, then it would drop that sand down. Okay. That's just vanilla-y stuff. And then what I want to do is, let's go ahead and get our mana glass, our mana steel, and we'll get our hovering hourglass. Oh, I didn't get enough gold. Grab that, and let me shift right click this to lock it. So now it shouldn't pick up things on the ground. Yeah, okay. I only want to unlock that whenever I'm mining. That was brought up in the comments, and I totally forgot that that was a, that was a feature of those bags. It's been so long since I've used those forestry bags. So, alright, let me pop over here. Let me get the gold that we need. And we'll get our hovering hourglass. There we go. And then let's see. I'm going to go ahead and sleep because I need that redstone wire. And I'm kind of waiting on that right now. And let's see. It looks like strawberries are in. I've got some harvesting. Got a little bit of harvesting to do while we wait for the store to open anyways. And then I see turnips. I see potatoes. Also means I have to turn all the water back on, which is always fun. And that's it. Okay. So I'll be back in just a minute once I get all this harvested and once I get the water turned back on. And we'll get back to what we were doing. Okay. I got some aluminum, as you can tell. I went ahead and ran to the store and grabbed it because the shops were going to be closed by the time I got done harvesting and watering and all that stuff. So, we got that. And then, have I got wire cutters? I'm not 100% sure if I ever made any or not. I'm going to have a look around real quick. If not, I think I've got some. I thought so. Maybe not. Let's see. To make... Oh, it's just shears that you can use. Well, I'll do that then. That's 1 for 1. Aluminum plates. That's fine. And then stick some redstone. Okay, let me grab one of those. And let's see, what else am I going to need? Comparator. Oh, I'm going to want the redstone volume 1. Book and redstone for that. Or redstone torch, I mean. So let me get that, combine it with a book. There's our redstone volume 1. And, oh, bookcase. Spruce bookcase. Oh, man, I need Uluf now. Something. Always something. Okay, well, I tell you what. I don't think Uluf is open. No. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and set up most of this, and then we'll just need the redstone bookcase. And it's not going to be that important right now. And it's not the prettiest thing, but like I said, I mean, for one, Endoflames are not our long-term fuel source for mana. I will probably plug it up to, once we have a tree farm, up to a charcoal system. But, I mean, our main thing is going to be like Entropiniums. So, okay, but anyways, let's go ahead, and our redstone comparator, I'm actually going to put this and attach it to this mana pool. That's why I put this here, is because, like, I've got 3 different mana pools here, so they're going to have maybe different levels of being filled. Stuff like that. This is the actual input mana pool for our mana system, right? So all the mana kind of feeds from that. So once these start backing up, or once this mana pool gets backed up to where, this is still sending mana, but it's not as fast as these spreaders, it's going to kind of slow that system down. It's going to toggle it off until the mana from this pool goes down. Whether it gets fed immediately or... this mana goes down and then it gets fed out. So it's just going to help us kind of as like a, like a pressure gauge or a pressure control for our mana system. So redstone comes out of there and it reads how much mana is in this mana pool. And then I'm going to have a bookcase set up here in a minute that's going to control this comparator as far as when it can actually emit a signal. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set our redstone wire connector down right here. And let's go ahead and connect. Oh yeah, I need to make the wire. Almost forgot. Actually got shears in there. I guess I'm just going to use the engineer's hammer for this just because it's faster. In truth. Still going to be 1 for 1. I'm only making a couple, so there we go. Aluminum wire. And let's see, it was redstone, stick, aluminum wire. There's our redstone wire coil. And what I want to do is I want to take and we're going to set up our redstone wire connector just right up to this dropper. And then we're going to take that and connect it over. Okay? And what's going to happen is whenever this redstone wire connector receives a redstone signal, it's going to feed that signal over to the dropper. And you know what? I think... Or wait, hovering hourglass has 4 ticks of a redstone signal, right? Which is perfect. So we're going to put our hovering hourglass right there. And let's see, we've got 8 endo flames. And a piece of coal in an endo flame burns for roughly 40 seconds. So 40 seconds divided by 8, it's 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, 1 piece of coal needs to get dropped, right? Well, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do 6 seconds. And that's just kind of... I tend to add like an extra second or two, and that's just for kind of a safeguard, because right now I don't think that our tick rate would be so high on the pack that, like, so bad because of lag and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be bad enough to where it's actually going to need the extra second, but just in case there's ever any kind of a hiccup or anything like that, it doesn't drop like an extra, you know, more coal than what we're using. So let me grab a little bit of this stuff. And once again, that's just kind of a safety precaution. So sand in the hovering hourglass is 1 second. Red sand is 10 seconds. And soul sand is 1 minute. And then, of course, you can add up to a stack of each. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. And we'll say here in just a second, it's going to send a redstone signal. Tell you what, I might actually need a redstone feeding over from that. Let's see. If we just put the hovering hourglass right there, give it sand. I almost forgot something. It's been a little while since I've used these. If we take the engineer's hammer, and you take a look at this, it says channel white input, and this one says channel white input. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to right click this, and now it's output. And so whenever that hourglass goes off, there we go, just dropped a piece of coal, and that's going to get collected by one of the endo flames, and it's going to start producing some mana for us. And then, well, there goes another one. I'm going to pull this out for just a minute, because there's another flower that we're definitely going to want here. Okay. And the reason I have this set up down here, instead of just having the hourglass on the dropper, the way the vanilla dropper works is it only drops an item when it gets a redstone signal, and only when the activation of the redstone signal goes off, right? It only activates, or it only drops on redstone activation, and not constant redstone signal. I heard it. But it pretty much, like, dropped right down on me there. That's fine. It didn't blow up anything, and I actually need to clear that out anyways, because I need dirt there. So, whatever, that's fine. That's okay. He had to have traveled a good distance there. But the reason I have this down here is because this comparator, when it reaches basically the amount of mana in here that we're going to set as the activation point, which we'll get into that once we get our bookcase, it's going to send out a redstone signal, and what it's going to do is it's going to apply a constant redstone signal. So at that point, the timer is kind of null and void. Now you can also, if you wanted to, you can use a mana spreader or a redstone spreader or something like that to shut off the hovering hourglass. That's originally how I was planning on doing it. The only thing about that is you do use a little bit of mana anytime you use a redstone mana burst, and it hits, you know, it's going to hit the hourglass and it's going to dissipate that mana. So you've kind of just wasted a little bit of mana. So this method doesn't really use any mana. Just a little bit of redstone wire, and that's really about it. You guys are sneaky. You guys are very sneaky today. Okay. Once the comparator outputs, or it reaches enough mana in this that it can output a signal, which we'll get into that in just a moment, then it's going to apply that constant signal, and the dropper is going to stop dropping anything. It's going to drop that one item that was about to get dropped, right? And then it's going to stop. Which we're going to set it so it's got a little bit of a leeway, so it's not completely filled. So that mana is still going to have a place to go. It's just after that it's not going to drop any more mana until it goes below the threshold that we specified. Let me go ahead and sleep real quick. Let me pop over here. I know I've got to clean out these fields today, since summer's going to be hitting. But I think cucumbers should be in today, maybe. If they're not, then we're done harvesting for the year, or for the season. No, they're not in. Okay, so no harvesting today. So the flower that I'm going to want is the Solagnolia. This right here. This basically keeps my ring of magnetization from picking stuff up. So let's go ahead. I'm going to need to get, let me actually get this out, my shears. And then I'm going to need 2 brown, a red, and a blue petal, which I think we probably got all of that. So that shouldn't be a problem. Let me just grab a piece of this glass. Okay, I've got red, and I've got the 2 brown that we need. And then the redstone root. Oh, this is damp grass from Biomes of Plenty. It's not. We need, I think it's this grass. Yeah. Okay, so there's our redstone root, and I'm going to go ahead and lay out most of this stuff. So redstone root, and then we're going to want 2 brown petals and a red petal, and then we just need the blue petal. But we might as well go ahead and make this because I've pretty much always got the ring of magnetism on. I don't want to be pulling in that coal because it's going to kind of mess up our system. It's going to slow things down. It's going to clutter up my inventory. A lot of really not good things. So we don't want that. So let me get... I do not have blue. Okay, I'm going to have to make some floral fertilizer then, in that case. Let's see if Ulif is open right now. He should be, I should think. I'm trying to get this done and then have time to clean out the fields and then get ready for summer. That's what I'm hoping. Oh, I still need to get that, but man, that's a lot of wood. I can never seem to get up to that amount of wood. Alright, so the oak bookcase. I want this. Alright, our bookcase, we're going to put this just right here. And we want it to be feeding into the comparator. Okay? So right now, if I was to... Let me grab one to the forest real quick. And let's point this mana spreader just right over here. So it's not sending bursts out at the moment. And then if we were to... Let's see. Let's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coal. And we'll go ahead and send some mana over to this. And I'm going to actually face that over there. Okay. So you can see the comparator is sending out a redstone signal. If I was to put coal in this, you'll notice that when the hourglass goes off, it doesn't drop anything. And that's because this is feeding a redstone signal over. But then if I was to take and put this Redstone Volume 1 book, basically where you put it, I know I've covered this before, but wherever you put it tells it how much of a redstone signal it's going to output. So right here is 0, and then 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 15. Okay, so we're going to set it at like 12. Okay, and then you'll notice that the comparator goes off, and there we go, it just dropped a piece of coal. And then here in just a second, there we go, drops another piece of coal. So what's going to happen is until the mana pool is full enough that it's going to emit a signal of 12 from the comparator, so 12/15ths field, basically. Until it reaches that point, the comparator is not going to output a redstone signal. Okay, so it's going to have to be greater than or equal to the redstone that we have set here. Okay, so then we'll just bind this back over, and it's going to start emptying. Oh, you know what? You know what I didn't think about? This is going to emit a redstone signal into the mana spreader and keep it from emitting mana pulses. So what we'll do to fix that, let me pull this out for just a moment, just so I can empty the spreader out. And then we'll put this back, and I'm going to actually pull up this mana spreader. It's not really a problem. And we'll set it right there. Yeah, that should be good. And then it's going to hit that mana distributor. It won't be so in the way later on, because this system's going to be different. It's going to be moved. This is just kind of a temporary setup for our mana. And that should be everything. Oh yeah, the Solagnolia. That's the only thing that we really need right now. So let me get Let me grab this. Let me put some coal in here for just a moment. And let me craft some floral fertilizer. And we'll cross our fingers that we get a blue on the first try. No dice. Of course. Of course. Of course. Alright, let's try this again. Floral fertilizer. Come on, blue. No dice. Still no blue. Are you serious? Let's try it again. Still no blue. Oh my gosh. I'm about to go just get the helicopter and go out and fly somewhere and like try to find some blue. Let me just do it like this. And then snip those off. There we go. There's 8 light gray. There we go. I think blue is the only color that we have not gotten so far. And it is being stubborn. There we go. There's a blue. Okay, let me clean all this up. Didn't mean to bone mill the ground. I'll clean that stuff up later. That's fine. Okay. So there we go. And let me put some things up here that we don't need anymore. And we'll finish this thing out. So blue dye or blue petal. There's our Solagnolia. And we're just going to set this. I'll probably eventually make it a floating Solagnolia. But for right now, we're just going to put it like right here is good, I guess. Or let's actually put it... see, it's dropping right there. We're going to put it right here. That'll be good. That will be good. I don't think this thing can actually feed off of mana. I don't believe. Maybe it can. Let me, one easy way to fix that is just set the mana pool there, bind that, break that, and now it has no mana pool. Because I don't really want it to feed off of mana. It doesn't have to feed off mana. If I recall, mana just increases its range. Okay, so now we're all set. So all I have to do is... let me grab that coal back out of here. And we'll just dump the coal into the dropper. And I'll probably come back with some more. Now, you can also do coal blocks. You have to change up the math on it a little bit for the hourglass. But the thing I like about coal is... if I had 8 Endoflames burning a block of coal each, I'm going to have to set this buffer way down because they're going to produce a lot more mana in that lifespan than a piece of coal will. So this just makes it a bit easier. Quite a bit easier. Okay, now one last thing that I would like to get is a World Spike. Just a standard one. I think we've got 1 Ender Pearl left. And I'd like to use it to make a World Spike, and that way we can actually keep the workshop and that mana system running all the time. Instead of it, you know, unloading and whatnot if we go somewhere. So let me get that, get our last Ender Pearl, and then I'm going to need 2 diamonds, 4 gold. And standard World Spike. There we go. You know what? That's actually going to be out of range. Looking at this, yeah, see, this stuff's going to be out of range, so I'm not going to actually be able to load the workshop with this. It's going to have to be one or the other. So we'll just load this area. That's more important. And I guess we're going to put the chunk loader in. I'm just going to set it above ground for right now. So chunk loader sits right there, and it loads these chunks right here. So mainly I needed these 2 loaded more than anything. Okay, so now that that's done, give me just a second. I'm going to take care of the animals, and I'm going to clear out the fields, and then we are going to start summer and get that stuff planted. We won't have to hoe the ground, which is nice. That's something that we won't have to do. So, but give me just a minute while I get this stuff sorted out real quick. Okay, the fields are all cleared. I had to eat quite a bit of food. These gold tools feel like they use so much hunger. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. I was going to plant wheat, but I didn't quite have enough time to do that, so that's fine. Alright, summer 1. And let's see what kind of crops I've got. I am going to probably get that golden sickle repaired today, maybe tomorrow, depending on where we're at on time. And, oh, by the way, I broke a couple sprinklers. So a couple of our sprinklers on the backfield are off, like, all I've got is watermelon right now. They're kind of off our schedule, but I'll just, whenever they come back around, I'll just break them and replace them, so it'll be fine. Alright, summer's the one with the hard harvests too. Because this is the one where we have to break like watermelons and pumpkins and all that. So I like planting the watermelons and pumpkins, but I'm only going to do these front fields. And that's going to be it for those. Just because these things, they take a while to harvest. Luckily, they take a while to grow too. But the money on them is worth it. So, there we go. That's all the watermelons I'm going to plant. But I am going to grab some wheat. And I'll get that put in. Because I would like to have maybe at least like a couple of our little fields filled out with wheat. Like a couple of the 9x9s. How much spring stuff? I'm actually pretty good on spring crops. So, see, I'm going to do this left side. And we'll just do like wheat. Wheat. And wheat's nice because it's actually an easy one. But I need more hay bales. Is the main reason I'm planting wheat. I'm not really planning on selling it anytime soon. Until we get all of our hay bales situated. Which is a ways off. And like I said, I mean, I could do chisels and bits and make our hay go really far, but I'm not planning on doing that. I just like, if I can put the block down, that's fine. Okay, so we'll do like that on wheat. That'll be good. And then we've got enough wheat to ride us out for the rest of the year, because after that comes in, I'll plant it one more time, and we'll harvest that. You know, we'll have a harvest on summer and fall for wheat. So we'll put those seeds into there, actually. And the general store should be opening up. So I'm going to stock up. I'm going to get like a stack of all the stuff for right now. I mean, we're about at 400,000 at the moment, which is pretty good. It's a lot better than last year. Considering we made all of that and then some, because we spent quite a bit. Made all of that and then some just in spring, which is awesome. Okay, so we've got onions. Let me get a stack of those. And those take 8 days. That's right. Summer's the one that has the longer growth periods. Then we got tomatoes. We've got corn. Pumpkins. And then I'm going to go ahead and stock up on a couple other things just so that we've got it. Let me get a stack of grass seeds. Another stack of wheat seeds. Let me get another stack of watermelon seeds. And then let's go ahead and get onion, tomato, corn, pumpkin. That way I've got a lot of extra seeds. So I'm down to 175,000, but honestly I've got seeds for like up to next year in a lot of this stuff, which was kind of my goal. Because summer was one, we've got quite a bit of our fall seeds, right? But I didn't have very many summer seeds. And the grass seeds, I'm not even going to use those until next year, but I figured since we got the money, might as well go ahead and pick them up. And those seeds are going to probably carry us through a few years, honestly. Because I'm not going to plant any grass this year. And then our summer stuff, I don't need those watermelon seeds. Okay, let me go get this stuff planted. And I'm going to do pumpkins down this side, actually. And see, like corn, I bought 2 stacks of corn. That's 15 days. That's probably like, it's going to be a decent amount of time. Probably this year and next year I'll be good on corn. See, we've got tomatoes, onions, and corn left to plant. So I'll tell you what, that backfield is going to be tomatoes and onions, and then all this section, it's not wheat. I went ahead and put corn right there. Then I'm going to do these other 6 over here corn. I want a lot of corn this year. Just because. I kind of wish you could make chicken feed out of corn, and it would, you know, come out to be cheaper or something like that. Kind of like how you can do the fodder yourself with the grass seeds. That would be kind of nice if they would allow you to make your own chicken feed somehow. I actually misclicked one, so I have wasted 1 bag of corn, but still, we used up exactly 1 stack planting all that. Okay, and then this back here, I'm just going to do 4 tomato, 4 onion, and I think that'll be good. There we go. But I figured corn is something kind of nice to plant, because once it comes in, you know, it's a decent amount of money for the back end of the year. Summer, if I recall correctly, summer is a good money-making season in general. It seems like we made quite a bit last year, too, in summer. So, okay, and let's see how we're doing on mana real quick. And then there's one other thing I'd like to get into this episode, just so that we can go ahead and start working on that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We are doing a lot better on mana than we were. I'm surprised this mana spreader is keeping up as well as it is. But I did, that's right, I did leave it 1 second leeway in between each piece of coal. So that's probably helping it quite a bit. Okay, now the last thing that I want to do for today is soul shards. Okay, we got that sword a while back that has Soul Stealer on it, and I'd like to go ahead and start building up for soul shards because it's something that actually takes a while. It takes a while to build up a good soul shard, so let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to need is we're going to need 1 glowstone block, 4 blocks of quartz, 4 obsidian, and 1 diamond. And we're basically going to need this for each mob that we want to have a soul shard spawner system for. So for right now, I'm just going to make 1 just so that we can start getting into it, and then I'll try to go get more obsidian so that we can make more of these. So we're going to put down block of quartz right there, glowstone block, and then surrounding that, blocks of quartz, and then obsidian in the corners. And then we're just going to take our diamond and... oh, it's a nether star. Well... okay, never mind. We're not going to get into those shards right now. We need a nether star before we can do that. I seem to remember it being a diamond, but it may have been changed since the last time I used soul shards the old ways. I think in more recent history I've used soul shards like the one that has like the diamond shape, like the star shape. It's like obsidian and soul sand, or I don't remember, but something like that. Well, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. We'll get to killing the wither before long. That's not a problem. So how are we on mana? We are doing great on mana. And that means that now that we have mana coming in at a pretty consistent rate, yeah, we're steadily making our way through this coal, but nothing too bad. Let me go grab some more of that, just so I can fill up the hopper, and maybe stick some in that chest right there, so we've got access to it. Probably over the next couple episodes, like as that mana builds up, we may start moving into Terra Steel, which would be kind of nice, because I would like to have a not tree capitator, but I'm gonna need more coal. I'm definitely gonna need more coal. I have none. I'm gonna go mining between episodes, so that's not a problem. That is not a problem. But I figure next episode will probably mostly be a speed build, and then we may set up a terrestrial agglomeration plate, depending on where we're at on mana, just so that we can use some of that mana, produce some Terra Steel, and then maybe make a Terra Truncator, because this thing is not expensive, really. Like, if we had these mana pools, like, filled or close to being filled, we could make that, and then getting wood wouldn't be nearly as much of a nuisance as it is at the moment. So, might be worth doing, I think. But I'm going to have to go mining. I'm going to have to take our Fortune 3 pick, get more coal, because now we have a need for coal. And then hopefully this year we'll get a tree farm set up that we can then turn that stuff into charcoal, feed that in there, and have, you know, pretty much endless free mana. And then once we have gunpowder coming in and a small little basics of the cobble works down, then we can move on into just producing gunpowder and having that. We'll probably still use the Entropenia or the Endoflames, as well as the Entropeniums, as well as we're probably going to do a Munchdew setup and a Gormialis setup as well. So yeah, lots to do, lots of mana. I think long term, with Botania and Immersive Engineering being the primary mods in this pack, like for a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing a lot with those two. So anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. So next episode, like I said, it's probably going to mostly be a speed build. We may get into a little bit of Terra Steel, depending on where we're at on mana, which I have a feeling we are going to be good on mana. So, because I'm going to do a little bit of mining between this episode and next, and then we'll be doing speed building. A lot of time passes in that, so we should probably have enough mana at the end of the episode, if not mid-episode, to get a Terra Truncator. And then I can gather a lot of wood and we can build the Mayor's Hall, the town center place. So, which would be nice. It would be very, very nice. Plus, I'd have a lot of wood for building. So, and in the speed build tomorrow, between episodes, I'm probably going to gather up a bit of clay while I'm mining. Maybe a bit of sand as well, to make glass and to make more clay. And I'll get a bunch of steel being made. hopefully. I know we're low on coal, but I'm hoping to fix that between episodes. There may be a few days between this episode and next, just straight up mining, because I'm out of coal and I need resources. So we may be working on the factory next episode, because I would like to, honestly, summer, I would like to maybe start getting into the factory a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.